It might seem odd that a successful rock band should have started out at a major public school. The tradition was for Vaughan Williams and the classics, not rock music, so the influence of Charterhouse is limited to being the place where the group first met.
We used to just sort of play together in dining rooms and things like that. Various people in the school used to do the same sort of thing, going around with, drum kit that was made up of a sort of snare drum and one bass drum and things. And just trying to sort of imitate these kind of groups.
Was it encouraged?
I wouldn't say it was encouraged, no. In fact, it wasn't, but it wasn't as discouraged as it might have been. It depended a lot on your particular housemaster. I think Mike suffered a lot of discouragement.
Since then, with slick management and constant touring, they've gradually become internationally successful. These days, the really big bands depend on LP sales, and Genesis albums have sold millions. They've slowly evolved into a fairly highbrow group with a reputation for never playing a bad concert. And if they're not household names, it's because their music, although melodic, would never go down in the discos.
We never expected to become successful, I don't think, really, although we always had the confidence that we could do it. It's a kind of a double thing. We always knew that we were a good group, that if we kept going and we had a few breaks, which we have had, that we could be successful, I suppose, from that point of view. But then you never feel you're actually going to get those breaks. There are so many moments. It takes such a long time. I mean, Genesis has, in fact, existed in one form or another for 10 years. And you just don't feel you're ever really going to sort of get there.
The cattle wouldn't like it, your mother wouldn't like it, but the Dutch loved it. For the second performance running, the Genesis Electronic Jamboree scored a hit. Just before midnight, the whole process will start again. The truckers will drive through the night, the crew will sleep on their bus, and the group will wind down at yet another hotel. The Groningen Hall will go back to being a cattle market once again, while another part of Europe is invaded by British sound. All leading up to the big one, the only concert the band will play in England, at Nebworth. Everything about a rock festival takes its character from the band. Genesis, they decided, were a sensible group.
Many too many are still where I stand. Many more will stand here too. Strange is the way you built me up and knocked me down again. God was fun, and now it's over. Why can't I just leave the stage?
Informal, human, self-critical. Three normal people in an extraordinary business. The kind of group that take their wives and children on tour with them.
I never expected to go into it being in a group. It was really just the chance came, and you know, I really felt that in the very early days of Genesis, when we hadn't played to anyone, that we could be a very good group. And so I decided to leave university where I was at the time and do it instead.
Are you glad you did that?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I think the experience I've had is in the last 10 years since I took that decision. I've been, you know, incredibly sort of fulfilling, if you like. I've just done so much and done an awful lot of, you know, I've been to an awful lot of places and things like that. That's an awful lot I haven't seen as well, but I think there are a few jobs that let you see as much as this one does.
You do it for the music, really, don't you?
Yes, so that's the reason why I do it.
It's not for the money.
It's not for the money, but the money, I mean, you know, this is an over-rewarded job, and it makes it very easy to take the sort of bad part of the job, I suppose, you know. That's the only factor.
What can you do in the future now?
I don't know. I want to try and keep on writing music for as long as I can, but I wouldn't mind at some point doing something totally different. But what that would be, I have no idea.
You couldn't really be on the road at 40, could you?
I don't know. Well, we're coming up to seeing people who are still on the road, you know, in the 30s and late 30s, I mean, the Stones and things. I think it's quite interesting to see what, you know, how these people make out. They still seem to be doing very, very well and performing very well. So I don't think it's necessarily. It's just because rock music is a thing of the last sort of 20 years that people have never seen older people in rock groups. But I don't see why in the future that should be a rare thing at all.